It's difficult to pin down exactly what cracked the facade for you. Maybe it's the uneven feeling of the floor below your feet, even though it appears to be made of smooth marble. It could be the draped silken curtains that hang from every doorway where the texture just isn't quite right. Perhaps it was the unusual metallic tang of the meat at dinner. Or maybe it's the eyes filled with fear behind every smile of every single denizen. Maybe it's a collection of all these small sensory disturbances that help you see past the veil. But when you do, it rattles you to your core. The floor is cracked and broken with large holes that lead all the way to the ground floor. The silken curtains are non-existent and the wooden door frames have been splintered and molded with age. The stew that was a local delicacy has the hand of a gnome bobbing at the surface, and the denizens are gaunt and frail-looking, though they do keep that unnerving smile. And at the back of the room, your host, upon her cracked and broken throne of patinaed metal, has all the beauty of the person that she presented herself with, the upper half at least. Her lower half, nestled snugly into the aged throne, is that of a lion. The silent power of the muscles, ready at a moment's notice. And it turns out that moment is now. She turns to you, the lone member of the party able to pierce the illusion, and the hysteria displayed in your expression is more than enough to alert her to the dispersal of her mirage. Roll for initiative. Hey there, creatures, and welcome to Encounter This, a podcast exploration of the creatures from Dungeons & Dragons and the lore that surrounds them.
Hello there, listeners, and welcome to another episode of the very exciting Encounter This. I am your co-host, Freeman Remy Easton, and of course, my good friend and collaborator, James Alphonius Kidd, shall be taking us through a creature today known as, I think it's Lamia? Lamia? We'll go with Lamia, and you can follow along on the Monster Manual, page 201. And please tell me you're going to correct me right away, James.
I don't really have to.
Oh.
Lamia or Lamia are both correct pronunciations, recognized as so.
All right, then.
I tend to lean towards Lamia.
Lamia felt right to me. Yep, that's cool.
We'll probably lean into that, but if we go back and forth, know that according to official Dungeons & Dragons resources, both pronunciations are correct.
Gotcha. How far back do these creatures go? Because I'm looking at the artwork here, and it looks like it's pretty far back.
Yeah, they start in first edition, and second and third we skip fourth as is per usual, and then we hit fifth edition. So they start right around the beginning. And for those of you unaware, they are beautiful humanoid upper bodies, usually women. They are a matriarchal society that believes men are just for breeding and labor.
Oh, just getting into some Amazonian shit, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Already.
The lower form of this creature is a powerful four-legged lion with vicious black claws.
Neat.
But there are other versions in 1 and 3E called the Noble, which has the lower form of a serpent. So I'm sending those to you. And these are often confused with Nagas, Wanti, and Medusas for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I was just thinking to myself how I always forget. I don't know really anything about this creature, but I always forget what it looks like when I'm thinking about the artwork, because I know I've seen it. Every time I do see the 5e1 at least, I'm like, yes, okay, that's the one. But I always mix it up with what you're showing me now with the serpentine bodies because of the representation of a Lamia in Final Fantasy IX, which is as such.
Oh, okay. That's something else.
Yeah.
Is there a face on that somewhere?
Barely. There's a mouth, but the eyes seem to be hidden by the hair, and they're like holding a
Oh.
fan and a knife in one hand, and their tail is like a butterfly in the end. It's a very absurd kind of creature. And where and how
Little
you
bit.
encounter it is like really random in that game. So
Okay.
yeah.
I would hazard a guess that these are directly stolen from D&D.
Probably a lot of their creatures are. They have like lots of like Final Fantasy is like kind of like D&D, where they just steal ideas and creatures and redo them from all kinds of mythology and other sources and stuff like that.
Right. I mean, specifically the serpentine body.
Oh yeah,
I
probably,
think the only time it's ever been referenced as a lower serpentine body is the noble Lamia from 1 and 3.
no doubt.
There is another class that we've never seen in the games before, though, above the nobles, where the most powerful could actually change the entirety of the lower half of their body to whatever extent they wanted, be it like feet or
okay.
I don't know, a bird, I guess. But I found no reference for this, just it in writing.
So dubious facts, everyone.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Because I looked, I really wanted to see where that information came from, because I've never heard of that before. But it is on Forgotten Realms. They don't have a reference for it.
There's something that gets my mind going about trying to use that against players, where they keep encountering the same person in the upper half, but like the bottom half keeps changing. How could you employ that somehow? I don't really have an idea, but it just got my brain going.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird concept, and we'll see a little bit further why it just continues to get weirder and weirder.
Okay.
So for the most part, we're going to be talking about the Lamias with the leonine lower half, because they're the ones that exist in 5e. We don't have the nobles in 5e currently.
Gotcha.
But who knows what we're going to get with the new Mordenkainen book coming out next week, I think.
Is it next week, is it?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, geez.
So that'll give us a new pool to pull from, which is nice. But these, the leonine ones, stand about 1.8 meters tall, or 6 feet tall, and about 2.4 meters, or 8 feet long. So they're really just lion centaurs, is what they are.
Right, yeah. So badass.
Yeah. And they weigh between 290 and 320 kilos, or 650 to 700 pounds, which is, all said and done, about the dimensions of a vending machine lying on its side.
And this is why they tell you not to rock the vending machine when your chips get stuck.
Yeah.
Weigh 700 pounds, it will crush you.
Yeah, they're not good. A chaotic neutral vending machine.
Some might say evil, but okay.
Probably, yeah. Lamias, as a rule, are vain, and they tend to prize beauty and wealth above all other traits.
Sure. He said, unprepared to finish the sentence.
Yeah. Point form notes. And they have a constant desire for more wealth. They also crave torture and the taste of humanoid flesh, and they just straight up love suffering. So there's a lot of evil going on here.
Okay. So tell me there's going to be something in their origins here about why they have these leanings.
Yeah. They are born from the demon prince of pleasure, Gratzt, so he bestows his mortal servants immortality and power in the form of Lamias after they swear an oath of fealty to him.
Okay. So they were probably already seeking it, go to him, and then he does this to them, and then now they are the embodiment of such traits.
Yeah, exactly. And then he uses them as guards, or some he just sets free to spread evil as they wish, but it's that oath of fealty that's very, very key. If you don't swear that, he won't bestow the Lamianess upon you.
Okay, fair enough.
And once set free, they tend to prefer long forgotten locations, specifically deserted cities or tombs of lost monarchs, which they then furnish and adorn with stolen finery, stolen from nearby civilizations or trading routes along the way. And then on top of that, they use magic to further this lavish illusion. And then from sitting on high, they use scrying to look in on their domain, which would be the entirety of that forgotten city. And they tend to stay very close to this lair never venturing more than about 16 kilometers or 10 miles from it.
Okay.
This is not applicable to nobles, and it's not specifically stated why, but there are theories, at least in the Dungeons and Dragons world, that they are bound to these places by Gratz, and that's how they're able to scry, is that they're only able to scry on this particular location that they've been bound to.
Okay, gotcha. But it doesn't explicitly say they're bound, does it? Did it?
It does not. This is just speculation,
right. Gotcha.
Like in-world speculation.
Okay.
And trigger warning. They are also slavers. They seduce and lure victims with illusions, and they use their intoxicating touch to calm and still the minds of their enemies before enchanting them and putting them to work.
Gotcha. I was already having an image in my head of like where when we talked about the spawn of Kius and like the seat of their spawning was, I think it was in the Greyhawk setting, and it was in these old ancient ruins and stuff like that. So I was already thinking about that and was like, oh, what if they were in there and they were using these zombies to spread evil, but instead they're just going this route with enchantment and slavery.
Yeah, they actually prefer adventurers with pure hearts and beautiful features to seduce.
Yes, total corruption. Yes.
Yeah.
It's the most savory.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And then when threatened, it will use its slaves. It's dominated on the front lines, so it will not it won't engage in melee unless it absolutely has to. And when it does, it's only to create an opportunity for it to retreat. They much prefer to sit back and control the battlefield from the shadows.
It's some Rakshasa shit going on there.
Yeah. They're very similar to Rakshasas and the Spanakius.
Mm.
And the Gorojumo, for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
And any slaves that don't meet their expectations are eaten, whether that's be physical traits, obediency, or they're just a pain in the ass.
Okay. I just eat them. Okay.
Yeah. And in 5e specifically, they have a soft spot for jackal wares, but it is only mentioned in a throwaway paragraph and no other edition picks up on it.
Okay. And that's it. They just have a soft spot for jackal wares.
That's all it says. I'll be doing jackal wares in the very near future to see if they corroborate this theory or expand upon it at all.
Okay.
But
cool.
There's a lot of like Greek Egyptian vibes going on from this whole concept.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's probably due to that like Nile connection that they have a soft spot for jackal wares.
Okay.
But that is all just speculation until we get to that creature. That's it for D&D. They've been around for 4 editions, and there's not a whole lot there. I think they're supposed to be pretty rare.
Yeah, I mean they don't sound like they're building like lairs for themselves, but not like big kingdoms and armies per se.
Yeah, and they can't spawn or reproduce. So the amount of Lamias in the world is definitely finite because it's specifically controlled by Gratz.
Yeah, there's a sort of an interesting, maybe extra edge of self-preservation when you can't spawn new creatures of your type. Self-preservation is just obvious. It's in itself, but there are I think you could probably find your way into some cases that there's a lower level of it when you know that your kin or will continue forward in your stead and that sort of thing. Such a sort of cultural trope. These guys they don't have a choice. They're it.
Yeah, and we see a little bit of that in the lore, and we'll see even more of it in the stat block.
Okay.
We do have some cultural lore here.
Sweet. I feel like it's been a while.
It has been, and it's not good. Like don't get your hopes up for it. Like there's stuff here, but it's tangentially related at best.
Okay.
But we are going to be taking a trip back to the ancient Greek mythos, where they are a child-eating monster and then eventually evolved into a night spirit or a demon. The main story we find is the story of Queen Lamia, who was a queen of Libya that had an affair with Zeus. Hera then stole and killed her children and gave Lamia insomnia, so she had to constantly grieve the death of her children.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah. This eventually drove her insane, as it would any rational human being.
Yep.
So she then began to steal and eat children because of the insanity, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, her beauty began to dissipate, and she became a monster due to her monstrous acts.
Mm-hmm.
Zeus then gave her the power of prophecy and the ability to remove and restore her eyes, and in some editions, shape-shifting.
Gave her the ability to remove and restore her own eyes?
Yeah, so she could take them out so she could sleep, and then put them back in.
So weird. Okay.
Yeah. This was later told by Diodorus Siculus in Bibliotheca Historica, which is Universal History. We'll have that linked.
Mm-hmm.
Also known as Diodorus of Sicily in 12 volumes. And it is not particularly easy to find, but this is where this story was written down.
Mm-hmm.
In another edition, the Lamia was ordered her soldiers to kill children instead of her doing it herself. And Diodorus believed that she kept her eyes in an urn, so she didn't actually have to see.
Oh, okay.
There's also speculation that instead of being the queen of Libya, she was the daughter of King Belus and Libya, the personification of Libya and the mother of Belus, with Poseidon.
Oh, okay.
And that Belus could also be Bursirius, who was killed by Heracles.
Gotcha.
So this is
the classic Greek mix-up.
Yeah, this is one of the lesser fables. Yeah. So like it really gets burdened with a lot of bullshit.
All you need to remember is that some god slept with a mortal, but the god was already married, and then someone got jealous, but they punished the mortal and not the other god.
Yep, that is correct. That's exactly what happened.
There you go. Greek mythology in a nutshell.
Later on, the story of Queen Lamia evolved into Lamiae, which is a type of phantom, a shapeshifter that seduces men and feeds on them after sex.
Wow.
Because, of course.
Yep.
Apollonius of Tyana was said to have captured and defeated one of the Lamia of Corinth, which I believe, again, very difficult to find information on, was one of these types of phantoms. Mm-hmm. And the Lamiae eventually inspired the poem Lamia by John Keats, which will be in the show notes.
Oh, cool.
So that's that poem is what I believe inspired Gygax, or a version of that poem.
Okay.
There's also another woman named Lamia. This was an actual historical person, and theoretically where some of these mythos were spun off of. Her name was Lamia of Athens. She was a notorious, we're going to say courtesan, to keep it as politically as correct as possible.
Sure.
And she was loved by Demetrius I of Macedonia, who's the king of Macedonia from 249 to 288 BC. And eventually, throughout the court, because she wasn't his wife, she was one of a cadre of mistresses. A double entendre was supposedly have spread about her and the old fable of Queen Lamia, which is speculated to have been started by Demetrius's father in order to discredit her in the court.
Uh-huh. We get some social political deviance happening here.
Yeah, a proper ancient Greek slander campaign.
Yeah. Do we know what the double entendre was? I imagine it's in a different language, so it might not work.
Yeah, that's exactly why I didn't look for it.
Fair enough. Yeah,
it wasn't in the articles that I read, so I didn't go digging around.
Fair enough. Yeah,
I'm sure it's been lost to history, but also like there's no world in which ancient Greek or Latin, whatever they were speaking at this time, translates into English and holds the double entendre meaning. There are other places we find the Lamia. For example, in 1492, Angelo Poliziano used Lamia to discredit his opponents, like the word Lamia, in the context of hypocrisy. So this was eventually derived and used to refer to witches until the 16th century. So between 1492 and 1600 or 1700, witches were also called Lamia because of this hypocrisy.
Okay.
In 1607, Edward Topsell publishes a book called History of Four-Footed Beasts. This is published as factual. The Lamia is included as a goat with the face and breasts of a woman, testicles that I have quoted here smell like sea calves and is covered in scales. And here's an image of that illustration. Breasts and testicles and all.
Oh, no. And this is not safe for work.
No, this will not be hitting our Instagram.
And it's factual, is it?
Yeah, there will be a link to it in the show notes if you want to go see it. But,
oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's... it's so silly. Unbelievable. How is it even a goat?
I don't know.
The only thing goat about it is its hind legs have cloven hooves and it's got a goaty like tail. The rest of it is not goat at all.
Maybe goats have barbed penises like this.
I believe it's pronounced peni in the ancient Greek.
Yeah, this is a horrifying showing all around.
Oh man. You said not to get my hopes up. And I'm so pleased with this.
Good.
I love fucked up facts from the past. Oh, I still remember drowning bats in milk.
Yeah, I'll never forget that.
Oh, jeez.
And then the next cultural touchstone isn't until 1909 when Herbert James Draper painted a series of paintings called the Lamia. It is of a woman and serpent, and in this particular case, it's of a woman shedding her robe with a snakeskin belt, and I'll throw that in the chat for you as well. This is Lamia 1, I believe. Okay. So you can see her shedding her silken robe, and then she's got like a shed snakeskin tied around her waist. There's a little tiny gardener stake up at the top that she's staring at. Also not safe for work, so that will also be a link in the show notes. The next cultural touchstone we have isn't until 100 years later, in 2009, where Sam and Ivan Raimi produce a film called Drag Me to Hell. Lamia is the main antagonist and voiced by Art Kimbrough, and it is, according to the film, the most feared of all demons. And this also has goat origins and the head of a goat for whatever reason, which we also have a picture of.
That's supposed to be the scariest one?
It's the face of the scariest demon of all time.
Oh my god. I mean, it looks like a goat, but with like human-like eyes. That's the only thing that's unnerving about it.
Yeah. I've never seen this film.
Yep, me neither.
But yeah, it's something. And then contemporarily, spoilers for the show Raised by Wolves, I think, maybe.
Okay.
I have never seen this show, but there is a character called Lamia, who's played by Amanda Collin, who is an android who can remove her eyes.
Oh, interesting.
I think the spoiler is that she's actually called Lamia, but I don't know for sure. So there's a lot of different interpretations of the Lamia there, and none of them are leonine.
Yes, right. So pop culture has done a poor job. That's what you're saying.
As has the cultural lore itself.
Like, yeah. Maybe
I missed something like incredibly important, but I don't think I did. I do not understand where Gygax got this leonine lower form, or whoever the creator of it was.
Artistic freedom, I guess. Just going to town. Wouldn't be the first time he did it.
That's true. Yeah. But there are plenty of adaptations out there and reinterpretations. So I think this just ended up being one of them.
Fair enough.
The serpent form is definitely a little more pervasive, which is probably why it ended up under nobility, but still dubious at best, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's it for cultural lore, and I guess you can consider some of that pop culture.
Yep. Pop also dubious, but yeah.
yeah, also dubious. And we'll have the history of the four-footed beasts and Lamia by John Keats in the show notes as well, so you can go take a look at the full article there and the full poem if you'd like.
Fun. I feel like it's the first time I've heard about some other references in books other than Dragon Magazine lately.
Oh yeah, we've been doing a lot of contemporary creatures. So it was nice to dive back into the antiquity here for this.
Yeah, that was fun.
But no episode would be complete without a little nod to Strange Fellows and the good work they do over there with their delicious black mailed stout.
Which will go down into the ages of antiquity. That's my segue.
Yeah,
You're
whatever those words that you just said mean.
The new age of antiquity.
All right. You have any guesses for the CR of this creature?
I'm just gonna go with our new tagline: disappointingly low. Given that they appear to be solitary creatures, as in they don't congregate together, and then therefore, and then they enchant and enslave other creatures to build and create this fancy lair. They're still going to be entirely too low of a CR. I guarantee it. They probably should be a bit higher and have lair actions and everything, and I'm going to assume they don't.
You would be correct on all accounts.
Hooray!
They are a CR4 with AC 13 and HP 97.
Oh my god, they're going to get killed so quick. AC 13?
Yeah, natural armor.
Oh my god.
Yeah. They are large, chaotic evil with a land speed of 30 feet for some reason, even with the lion legs.
Yeah, that's a bit odd. I mean, larger creatures, the larger the creature, the less they usually get, like scaling wise, I think, with movement speed, because they already take up a certain amount of space. So they're a little bit more lumbering, but I'm with you. Probably should be higher still.
Yeah. No resistances, immunities to speak of, but they do have dark vision of 60 feet.
Okay.
They have my least favorite ability so far, spellcasting, with a spellcasting DC of 13.
Also not very high.
Also notice there is no attack modifier.
Oh, yeah, they're not attacking with magic at all, are they?
Nope.
Okay.
So, at will, they can cast Disguise Itself, so they can change their form into any humanoid, but they still are huge and take up the huge space, even if they only appear to take up a 5-foot square.
Okay.
Or large, sorry. They can cast Major Image at will as well.
What's that one do? Is that like a projected image kind of thing?
Yeah, it is a projected image, but in this case, it includes sounds, smells, and temperatures.
Okay, cool.
Whereas Minor Image doesn't include those things.
Is it called Minor Image or Silent? There's Silent Image, or am I
it might be Silent Image that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool.
3 times per day, they can cast Charm Person, Major Image, Scrying, and Suggestion.
Mirror Image.
Oh, sorry, Mirror Image.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I guess it fits for their,
Yep.
whole shtick.
Their whole deception shtick. Yeah.
Suggestion's a pretty cool one. We don't see that very often. I don't feel like it's concentration, of course, but up to 8 hours.
Okay.
If you give the creature a reasonable suggestion, they will pursue the course of action to the best of their ability.
Yeah, and isn't it like is it the sort of thing where they feel as though they had the idea? You have a suggestion, but it's like they feel like it's their own idea and motivation, or am I just thinking of something else?
It doesn't specify that they believe it to be their idea.
Okay, all right. So you just give them a suggestion of what to do, and they're likely to do it. What's the parameters on that one?
It's pretty much that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that sounds reasonable.
Okay.
And it's a task too. So, like, if the task is finished before the spell ends, then the spell ends. Like, it's
it's one of those finicky ones that could cause an argument at the table,
and probably will.
I just got to remember this is where quick GM advice. This is where it's really good to have constant chats with your players about how their characters operate. Like, how do they think? Question their motives and decisions, and have like players like find ways to back them up, and so that when you do use this spell, you have a little bit in your holster to say, they're going to suggest this, and your character is going to do it, and then they might be able to argue their way out of it, perhaps, but you'll have a little bit more to go on when using this to be like, well, no, you said this before, and your character was like that, and yada yada yada, and nothing's changed since then. It could be really helpful to avoid that sort of argument and confrontation at the table is the whole goal. Not to make this work automatically, but to either avoid the fight or smooth out the process.
Yeah, and if you just don't want to deal with that, you can just cast Geas.
Aha! I have a pronunciation for this.
Okay, it is it is their once per day spell. But go ahead.
So this is like the most mispronounced spell probably of all time. But it's because it's a friggin' classic Irish word, like proper Irish language, and it's pronounced geish.
Geish.
You look at it and you go, how could it be pronounced geish? But I can promise you that pretty much all if you remember covering Banshee,
yep.
Pretty much all anglicized Irish makes no sense when you pronounce it out loud. So it is pronounced geish for anyone who is wondering.
Okay. And the word is derived from Irish folklore that means magically imposed obligation.
Yes. And I mean I don't remember the spell super well, but if I were to guess, it's like, they're obligated to do it, and if they oppose it or manage to fail or something like that, don't they take like mental damage or something?
Yeah, it's 5d10 psychic damage, but they can only take it once per day. The duration of the spell is 30 days.
Right. Oh man. So this is it's a powerful spell when used correctly. And
the only way to dismiss it is remove curse, greater restoration, or wish.
Crazy. Yeah. So once per day you could be taking 5d10 psychic damage. Is it so long as you like haven't completed the task yet, or
it's if you act in a manner counter to your instructions?
Okay. So you man. Yeah. That's a 5th level spell. That's so wild. For a CR4 creature. That's extremely powerful. This is where your adventure hook might come in. A bigger campaign, maybe built around Grass, the Demon Lord. Excuse me.
Yeah.
And this Lamia has cast Geish on one of your party. Oh man. And you gotta see it through. Or try and find Remove Curse. Remove Curse must be the lower spell of that lot. Is it maybe?
Yeah, Remove Curse is 3rd level.
Okay.
Greater Restoration is 5th. So
that's not too bad.
Yeah, and it's it's on the Paladin, Cleric, Warlock, and Wizard spell list, so it should be pretty easy to get.
Yeah. Still though, if you have the right party build or the wrong party build, you might not have access to it.
Yeah, that's very true.
Cool.
But again, we're looking at a DC 13 Wisdom save, so like it's not a hard one to make,
Mm-hmm. I dig that. You don't see that spell very often, and I dig it. I just think it is a cool one to push a story in a certain direction.
Yeah, I really appreciate how thematic it is for these creatures, and their spell list is very thematic. I just wish there was like a get at a dodge spell on here too. Like
right. I mean, what they don't have from the Rakshasa has is the dimension door on themselves, or was it dimension door, or was it like plane shift?
It's plane shift for the
plane
Rakshasa.
shift, yeah, which is like just way more powerful. Just boom out of existence essentially.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be fine with something like teleport or something, but like some sort of get at a dodge spell or invisibility. Like
invisibility. Yeah,
there's no reason why you can't like give yourself a veil against the your attacking opponents, and I think invisibility would be a great addition to this list. On top of that, they do have a couple of attacks, and they're no slouch. So they have multi-attack, which is 1 claw plus 1 dagger or intoxicating touch.
Oh, okay.
So the claw is +5, 5-foot range, 2d10 +3 slashing, so not terrible. And the dagger is +6, 5-foot range or thrown range, and 1d4 piercing. The intoxicating touch is kind of the kicker here, though. It is +5 to hit, a 5-foot range, and if a success, no save, the target is magically cursed for 1 hour. They have disadvantage on wisdom saves and all ability checks.
Oh, that's where you get the Geish cast on you.
Yeah, or the charm person, or the suggestion, or any of those things. So it's built itself to have like this nice little 1-2 punch. It just kind of sucks that it has to be in within touch range to get that 1-2 punch off.
Yeah,
an hour is a long time to be cursed for.
No, it really is, especially if you're in the middle of a dungeon. I mean, I guess I've been running with the assumption that if you're in a dungeon or a lair or whatever, the Lamia is the big bad of it, but it doesn't have to be. It could be something that's just there to harry you by instruction for the demon lord.
I like the idea of them being like the vanguard protector. Like they have this wave of essentially humanoids that you use the ghoul stat block for or something like that.
Yeah.
And then the Lamia is like the first tier in the dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
And then ideally they get the fuck out of dodge, and then maybe it's something else at the end, like a Naga or something, like something that can really capitalize on that wisdom saving throw fail.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty neat. Yeah.
As great as getting off Gaish would be, it's almost better to give disadvantage on wisdom saves and all ability checks for 1 hour.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I feel like ultimately these creatures have a very, very specific spot that makes them useful, but are not very well rounded.
No, and it's probably why they're not used very often. Like
Yeah.
even in the Adventure Pass, I believe they only appear in Princes of the Apocalypse.
Oh, really? That's it?
I think so. I'm prepared to be corrected on that, but that's the only place I have seen them.
Yeah. Because I feel like they have that little spot, that they fit. I think you're right with the Vanguard thing. It could be a tool for harrying you further into a dungeon. But they don't feel like a manipulator of events like the Rakshasa does. And I just don't really have much to say on the stat block, to be honest. It's like it looks like there's one goal: intoxicating touch, cast a spell to mess with the party, and then get the heck out of dodge.
Yeah, they're really efficiently designed for that. It just like you said, they're not going to be staying up very long. So like we're talking about a surprise attack here, the major image, pop out from behind the major image, get off that intoxicating touch, maybe get off a Gaish and get the fuck out, and then, rinse, repeat.
Like their 97 HP is like not high, but it's not low either for a CR4, I don't think. And I just double checked what you roll for. Like you said, you usually go for like top HP, right? Instead of like the average.
Normally, yeah. But your party makeup is...
Yeah. We just do a lot of damage. They're 13d10 plus 26. So, a difference of 97 to 156. Yeah, it's pretty big. So 97, I think you'd punch through pretty quick at that level 4, depending on your party. Especially if you're going to hit pretty much all the time with CR 13 or AC 13. So if you want this creature to last a little longer and get that intoxicating touch out a little bit, just ramp that HP up for sure, at the very least.
Yeah, I would definitely use this creature as like a kiting creature. Like illusions, cultists of some variety, and then intoxicating touch. Get out of there.
I'd love to see a noble too that has like armor on instead of just natural armor, and it's like proper armor that goes over the lion body as well.
Oh yeah.
A barding that builds into a humanoid, like a custom piece, and so it's got a higher AC. And then, instead of focusing on spells, it actually has like a big ass spear or something, or a halberd.
Yeah, so that would be the men in first and third edition, maybe even fourth edition. I didn't find a whole lot of information on the ones in fourth, but the men would be like your combatants. Like I sent you a photo of a male one in third edition, and they are beastly looking.
Yeah. Oh, big time. He looks savage.
Yeah. Whereas as the women, according to this information, tend to just stay back and run shit, I guess is the best way to put it.
And it would be really easy to just like remove that gender separation, like because there's nothing to say that they have to be one or the other. But like I would, I want to build like this noble or just like there's like the caster one and the melee one. I don't know what words I would quite use for off the top of my head, but there's plenty of adjectives or whatever to throw in there. And then just give one, the one of them is like harrying you with magic and deceiving you and sending you in the wrong direction, and the other one is like a proper melee combatant, and just like dress them appropriately, armor versus like robe-esque kind of stuff. And I think you could have a little more fun with that, and fairly easily. I'm trying to remember what the
you could just reskin a 1-T and call it a day, like the one of the half-bloods.
Yeah, or like one of the bullywugs that we had too, with the royal spear, They had like this crazy advantage whilst mounted, right, on a frog. So just they're just perma-mounted. So just give them abilities like that.
Give them a couple of cavalier abilities.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I dig it.
That'd be way more fun than this creature.
yeah. Fair enough. I think this creature has kind of fallen by the wayside, and that it's only been included in 5e as a legacy creature. 5e is definitely more 1T focused as far as like Serpentoid.
Yeah, Serpentoid.
Serpentoid, which I'm here for. I love the 1T. I think they're so cool.
I haven't read anything about them in a long time. So,
have we done an episode on them yet?
No,
we should
not. We should. That's a suite though, right? That's definitely a suite.
That would be a suite. Yeah, I think so.
That's like nearly gift territory.
Yeah, probably about that. There's a lot. I like them. I've used them a few times, but I've never used a Lamia. I love the 5e art. I really do. I find it really engaging. I just have never had the appropriate place or time to use one. Like you said, they're very niche creatures, and that's not a niche that I like to put myself into as a GM. I don't love spellcasting creatures as we've talked about. I'd probably use them in like a one shot as opposed to like an actual campaign, because it seems like they would need a lot of work, and you'd really have to think out their tactics and their locale, and maybe even give them some lore actions before you could even really get them off the ground and have them be even kind of engaging, in my opinion.
Right.
I guess that's it.
Yeah, I got nothing else.
All right. Well, what about you, listeners? Did you enjoy that quick little trounce through Lamia? Do you have a way that you think they would be viable in a longer term campaign, like Freeman said, as like an underboss, or just as somebody to take away resources from the party? You can get at us at Twitter at EncounterPod, or Facebook.com/EncounterPod, or Instagram at Encounter.pod. If you've got any of those things that you want to share, you can also send us an email at info@EncounterThis. Find our back episodes like the Rakshasa at EncounterThis.ca. Or if you like this episode, or you want to inspire us to do that 1T suite, you can do that at patreon.com/EncounterPod. $10 a month, you can suggest a creature, and if you suggest one 1T, you better fucking believe we are going to cover all 1T.
You want, instead of cracking a beer, we will drink tea.
I love it.
We'll still crack a beer, though, let's be honest.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. That's going to do it for this week, creatures. We thank you so much for listening, and we cannot wait to share our next episode with you in 2 weeks.
I was trying to think of something funny. I got nothing.
Let me leave you with that.
Oh, that's such a stretch. That was really Lamia.
Oh, there we go. There's the one.